Hello, my name is Drew, and welcome to my YouTube channel that I hardly ever post on. Oh god, it's been more games than art lately, and really art is what I'm doing in education, and it's what I do in my spare time, and I honestly just don't understand how I've managed to not upload any art at all really this year, and like a couple of gameplays. Oh god, Overwatch took over a lot of my free time. That's not what this video is about, though. This video is to talk about myself coming to terms with a couple of things, and I don't know, maybe it will help some other people. I think it will just be better for me to vent. But for like the past 4-ish years, I've kind of been like, with gender. God, it's been a hell of a ride. I was at an all-girls secondary school for a while, and yeah, that messed me up a bit. I'm not gonna lie, that was not fun. That was not a good time. Not just for the whole thing of it being all girls and I wanted to die because something wasn't right, but I had no knowledge about transgender people to understand that I wasn't a girl. No, it was also because that school was incredibly strict and I had a mental breakdown about 3 times, and just didn't end well. Ended up getting kicked out pretty much, which isn't good. Kids, stay in school. Although that school was killing me. Don't know why my phone is going off. Guys, chill. But yeah, like if I was in the same situation I was with my first secondary school again, God, start year 9, I would have asked my parents if I could move school before I got kicked out halfway through year 9. Oh, that is not something to be proud of, but looking back, I actually didn't do too much wrong. I was quite distracted, very depressed, extremely anxious. I was living on an average of an hour and a half sleep a night. Some nights I didn't even sleep at all, so in my defense, I was a broken early teen child. Like, I was not okay. But, you know, like, at the same time, being kicked out of school is not something to be proud of, even if it was a terrible school. Anyway, so I go to a mixed school, and my brain's kind of like, because I've been on Tumblr a couple of years at this point, and although that website is really, really terrible most of the time, like, it can be pretty, ugh. I've seen some really awful things on there, but if it wasn't for Tumblr, I probably wouldn't have figured out who I am. I probably would be still in the dark on a lot of things. It did teach me a lot of stuff I needed to know, which helped me a lot growing up, you know, as an early teen. But yeah, so I kind of started to experiment with different terms. I finally came across the term gender fluid, which I was like, wow, I never heard of this before. Read into it a lot and realised, oh shit, yeah, I'm 100% gender fluid. I am gender fluid, but I'm male like 75% of the time, I want to say. Maybe even like 80% of the time. And then that 80% with the leftover 20 would be like 15% of the time non-binary, like 5% of the time female, which, being designated female at birth, fucking sucks. This fucking sucks. It's the rough end of the deal for being gender fluid. Being predominantly male, but like, I'm working on it. I've spent the last year, because like it's been 4 years me realising all of this, and I've been open to very close friends, only like 2 or 3 very close friends for a while now, for about a year. And this year, 2016, I made my year of becoming the person I want to be. Obviously, 2016 was a terrible, terrible year, but I've put myself on the right track through it. Hopefully and thankfully. Because I had really fucking long hair at the start of back in 2015. Cut it to about shoulder length, you know, and then I worked my way up, so my mum wasn't like, oh, your poor hair, because I was not ready to come out to her yet. And found that green is a very comforting colour to have my hair for me. It makes me feel more like myself, more valid. I have no fucking idea why. Is green masculine? I don't think it's masculine. It's like neutral, if anything. Not that colours are gendered anyway, you know what I mean. So I eventually got to this style with like the shaved sides and the fluffy top bit, which is like the most masculine hairstyle I've ever had, and I feel extremely comfortable with this hairstyle, which is fantastic. And I slowly started coming out to more people. I kicked myself until I finally told my close friends at college, which, you know, they slip up on pronouns, but it's like, who isn't gonna slip up on pronouns? Like, I love all of them. They're fantastic friends. And I started being way more open on the internet, just being loud and proud, I guess. Like, I'm gay and trans, hooray! And I started going to counselling sessions at my college, because, I mean, if they're free at college, then I'm gonna fucking utilise that. I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'm gonna get everything out in the open and decide what I can do. Twitter today. So I started talking to this counsellor, and she's lovely. She reminds me of Molly Weasley, honestly. She's just really nice. She'd never heard of the term gender fluid though, which I mean, she was already talking to a couple of transgender kids in the college, so like she knew where to start with that, because she was like, do you want treatment? And I was like, well, 80% of the time male, I do not like this body, I hate this body a majority of the time, so yes, I do want treatment. Like, talking about treatments, like, I want hormones and top surgery, but nothing else really. Like, that's about it. I don't want like the whole shebang, just like 3/4 of the shebang, 2/3, you know, whatever. And we're talking through it, and she's like, at the time I was under 18, because this was like the start of the year. And she was like, because you're under 18, you have to tell your parents first. And I was like, great, fantastic. And she was like, also, if you were 18, you would feel bad going behind their backs, talking to a doctor about it before actually coming out to them. And I was like, yeah, that's 100% true. I'd feel terrible. So I ended up like gearing myself up to tell my parents for a long time. And it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. It was... like, I knew they weren't going to react badly. I knew they weren't going to, like, kick me out or anything. Because, like, my mum's pretty understanding. She's pretty accepting when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, I knew that she wouldn't be bad about this. And I knew that my dad probably wouldn't get it. But I knew that he wouldn't be mean about it either. I knew that he'd try and help, but, you know, get things wrong in the way. But, like, that's not bad. I mean, that's still trying. I really appreciate that. But, I mean... even though I knew they weren't going to react terribly, it was still difficult to, you know, to just come out with it. It's just difficult in general. People are going to see you differently. I mean, I want them to see me differently, but... oh, you know what I mean? It's just a weird situation to have yourself in, just coming out to people. It's just not fun. It's like a lot of the process of being trans, it is not fun. Looking at you, dysphoria. Yeah, so gave myself up for a long time to tell them, and just didn't happen. And then I turned 18, and she was like, you can go to the doctors now if you want. And I was like, I still really do need to tell my parents. So it took me like a month and a half after turning 18 to actually gear myself up enough to tell them. And about a week later, I talked to my doctor, my GP, in the middle of nowhere in a rural village in fuck off England. He didn't really understand at all, like, at all. he was asking me questions on what he should do, and I was like, and this is the one doctor that I heard wasn't transphobic. Like, he wasn't transphobic at all, but he also didn't know what he was doing. Like, rural Lincolnshire is not fun for the doctors. I went to one and said I was depressed one time, and he was like, oh, I don't think you're mentally disturbed enough to go on medication, and even though you've tried to kill yourself multiple times. And I was like, okay, okay. So, you know, doctors here aren't that great, but this guy was nice, if anything, and he's put me on a waiting list for hormones in Nottingham, I think, which is quite far away. But, like, I don't know how long I'm going to be on that waiting list, and when I get to the top of the waiting list, like, I'm not going straight to the hormones. I've got to go through therapy first, and it's like, I just want to not look like a girl, you know? It's difficult. It's difficult. The whole thing is just difficult, and I want it to be a quick fix, because it's been over 4 years. I felt uncomfortable as myself for over 4 years, and I just want it over with now. I've gone to that space of mind. I've finally told my parents, and I just want to get started, and I can't, and it's difficult. And I'm going to uni soon, so it's going to be even more difficult. So great. It's just, yeah. So also that's why I go as Drew online, because my first name is obscenely female, which is upsetting. And Drew is my last name, and it was a nickname through secondary school for a long time, and it just, you know, it's gender neutral pretty much. It's more masculine, if anything, which is great. So, like, it just became something that I was, and it now feels like my actual name, which is cool and nice and awesome. But yeah, this video had not much of a purpose except for me to rant about this and to share my experiences up until now, which doesn't even have a conclusive ending. I'm barely at the start of, going through all of this. But yeah, if you need any help with anything, or you want to talk to somebody who you think's going through the same sort of stuff as you, then I am your guy. If you want to request or, commission drawings, I am still doing art. I just never post anywhere. I'm terrible. I'm so terrible. I'm so sorry. But yeah, requests are open, commissions are open, kind of. Requests are more open than commissions. I'm still sorting out commissions. My PayPal is being dodgy right now. Yeah, ideas for animations or animatics, that sort of shit. Like, hit me up if you need anything art related. Or, if you want me to play a specific game, I have downloaded a crap load of terrible free dating sims. And, yeah, God, Seduce Me the Ultimo's horrible. I don't know why I'm playing it, and it's so bad. But I've had friends message me saying, why isn't part 2 out? So, I guess I'm gonna have to release part 2 sometime soon. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will see you whenever I post a damn video, which probably won't be soon. Sorry about that again.